All right, guys, what's going on? Welcome in. So there's a free agent out on the open market, right? I was kind of looking over who's still available, looking at the New York Jets cap space, things like that. And I don't necessarily think that the Jets should be like a major spender at this, section of the offseason, just given the state of the team and, just all the excitement for the young players, whether they're rookies, undrafted guys, players entering their second year with the team. I think we have a lot of youth. I don't want to necessarily logjam those players. So right now I'm kind of shifting into, okay, you know what? Attack positions that are in dire critical need or solid depth options that could help the culture, maybe helping the coaching staff, right? Like being that vocal leader, vocal coach on the field during practice, helping out the young guys. And there was one name that stood out. It's Shaq Thompson, former linebacker of the Carolina Panthers, right? Someone who's played inside linebacker, outside linebacker, 31 years old, still out on the open market. The Panthers recently released Thompson, and we have to ask the reason why. Well, it's pretty obvious. Injuries, right? He dealt with the ankle. He dealt with the Achilles. He's missed a lot of time over these past 2 years. Now, granted, he didn't miss the full entire season, like, 17 games missed. He was able to suit up for at least a couple, but, obviously the injuries played a big role in the fact that he only played 6 total games over the last 2 years because of these lower body injuries. But before that, obviously he was a fantastic player, just a mainstay for that Carolina Panthers defense. I mean, really from 2019 to 2022, just a great tackler. You always felt like he was such a reliable, such a smart, athletic piece on the middle of that Carolina Panthers defense. And really for me, the reason why Shaq Thompson stands out, maybe compared to other free agents on the open market. First and foremost, we take a look at the Jets linebacking core right now. Jamie Sherwood, Quincy Williams, just assuming that we're going to be in a lot of nickel packages, obviously. 4 down linemen, 2 linebackers. We have those 2 positions covered. Great. But behind those guys, we have a lot of inexperience. So backup middle linebacker at this point in time is newcomer late round pick Francisco Mauaga from Miami. And then Quincy Williams backup is Zaire Barnes. So in the event that Jamie Sherwood gets hurt or so-and-so has to miss time, all of a sudden we're looking at the linebacker core and we're saying, okay, now we're throwing in a potential rookie into the mix and such an important part of, a defense that values the linebacker position like crazy. I mean, you can go back and look at the linebacker play for the Detroit Lions all those years with Steve Wilkes, how much emphasis, how much responsibility these coaches put on the linebackers to not only just make plays, but to rush the passer, to stop the run, to drop back in coverage, to kind of be the quarterback of the defense. In year one, we could potentially be relying on a rookie, again, in the event of a Sherwood injury or something like that. Also, you take a look at the coaching staff, right? It's not like Quincy Williams was brought in from Detroit and has like a lot of experience working with Aaron Glenn and, this defensive system. Jamie Sherwood, again, Mauaga is a rookie, Zaire Barnes. We don't really have that familiar face, that connection that we can draw to. But with Shaq Thompson, you can point back to all those years with Steve Wilkes in Carolina. So he would come in with experience. He would come in with knowledge of the defensive play caller, knowledge of the system, a former great player. He would also be really cheap. I would assume he would sign a veteran minimum based off of the injury history. And you're not really asking Shaq Thompson to be the starter. You're really just asking him to be, again, that voice in meeting rooms, be the coach on the practice field. And of course we have to ask the question, okay, well, where does Shaq Thompson, stand with the injuries in 2025? Is he maybe thinking retirement, right? Wrong side of 30, couple injuries. You can say his best days are behind him. Well, according to Thompson, he intends to keep on playing in 2025. He actually had a really good quote. He said, "I'm incredibly excited about the next chapter in my life. There's still so much football left in me. I'm not retiring yet. I can't wait to see what the future holds." Could that go-to backup style of role for Thompson in 2025 for the Jets, again, in the event that a Sherwood injury happens or something? Familiarity with the coaching staff, the system, the price. I really do like that fit. If news comes out in 20 minutes that the Jets are signing Shaq Thompson to a 1-year contract worth $960,000, under $1 million here, that's the league minimum for 2025. Does this hurt the team? No, the Jets have over $25 million in cap space. If you can shore up some of the depth, if you can add a veteran, someone who's done it at a high level, someone who can teach Sherwood and Quincy, right, kind of changing into maybe a system that puts more in the linebacker position, going from Saleh to Glenn and Wilkes here, I think that's money well spent. And believe me, I don't want to see this Jets team strap themselves into unnecessary deals that ties up future money. But again, for this season, just kind of bridges that gap going from, that first season to the second season. Where is that 25 mil going to? Even if the Jets pull off like a crazy trade that no one sees coming, Chris Olave, right, someone like that, the Jets aren't going to be taking on a salary over $20 million, and they're definitely not going to be signing, 4 or 5 extra players at like, $3 to $6 million. So I think it could very well take place, and I do feel like it makes sense. The question is, how ready to play is Shaq Thompson? But again, it's 1 year vet minimum under $1 million with a team that is over 25 to spend. I think the positives definitely outweigh what Thompson would be owed. And it would be one thing if we had, like the go-to backup already. It would be one thing if, Aaron Glenn and Steve Wilkes have been here for 4 years and these guys are kind of ingrained in the system, but that's not the case. So again, I think the positives are just, there's a long list. With the negatives, it's just $1 million. So anyway, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thanks so much for watching. I appreciate you guys. And as always, go Jets.